Hello. So I'm going to show you how to do the whip stitch. I'm going to quickly review how to thread a needle. So remember, there are two parts to the needle, and the part that we thread is the eye of the needle. You're going to take your needle threader, you're going to fold that strip of paper in half. You're going to put those two ends of the strip into the eye of the needle. Then you have this big loop right here, and that's where you're going to put your thread through. Then we want to make our thread go through the needle, so it wouldn't make sense for me to pull the paper this way because that would be pulling the thread away from the needle. I want to pull the paper this way so that I pull the thread towards the needle. I pull that paper until the thread comes through, and then I've got this little tail here, so I need to pull until that tail comes through the needle. Okay, I'm done with my needle threader now, and now I need to tie a knot. So I'm going to take the two ends of my thread, I'm going to put them together, pull to put the needle in the middle, and then I'm going to tie a knot. So I'm going to take these two together, I'm going to twist and make a loop like on a roller coaster, and these two, the tails, are on top of this part of the thread. So now I'm going to take the tails and go under the loop and through. So I'm going to take the tails, I'm going to lift up the loop, put the tails through the loop, and then I'm going to pull and take my other hand that I'm not holding the thread with, and I'm going to push that knot towards the end of my thread. And now I have a knot. So that's how you thread a needle and tie a knot. So the whip stitch. The whip stitch is probably the easiest, and it's very functional because you use it to close up one of your stuffies. So you sew this around the edge of something, you stuff it, and then you finish off the sewing. So with the whip stitch, you come from underneath the fabric up, pull to the end of the knot. Then you're going to go underneath the fabric again, pull. Now if you pull too tight, see, the fabric wrinkles. So it's going to loop around the edge. It's a decorative stitch too because you can see the stitching. Now you want to do these close together because this is supposed to be closing up your pillow. If you put these far apart or big, the stuffing's going to stick out between these stitches. So you want to always do a whip stitch close together. So I'm always coming from underneath and pulling up. Now when you're doing the whip stitch, the thread gets twisted, so if you just take your thread and pull it, it will untwist on you. So I'm getting close to the end of my thread. So now I need to tie off. So we started with a knot, but with a whip stitch, we don't want to knot it on this side because that's the front. So we're not going to knot it at all. We're going to use our previous stitches to hold our fabric in place, or our thread in place, so that we don't have to tie a knot. So I'm going to take my needle and I'm going to go under the last 4 or 5 stitches. I'm going between the thread and the felt, the white felt. So I'm going right underneath the red stitches, 4 or 5 of them, trying not to catch the white felt. And then I'm going to pull my needle through those stitches until I get to the end, and then I'm just going to snip the thread to get my needle off the thread. And I have these little tails here, so I'm going to snip those, and then these stitches will hold that thread in place, and so my stitches will not come undone. And that's how you do a whip stitch.